Hello and welcome back to the channel. I thought I'd do a quick video this time just briefly on road tax and how to save yourself a little bit of money. First up, it's my day off the day and it's the last day of the month, 31st of January, which I thought would be a bit relevant to give you a bit of a heads up on how to save a bit of money. Excuse the puppy on my knee, he's not been very well. There's a bit of a doggy bug going around at the minute, so he's not being the best. So that's Hunter there. He's getting on good, but he's in a bit of a fettle today. He's not very well, so excuse him jumping around on me knee. So anyways, I thought I would put this one in quickly. If you don't change your car very often, just ignore this. It's probably not really going to help you anything. But if you not like me, where you get different cars every month, but if you change your car a couple of times a year, more than a couple of times a year, you could probably save yourself a decent amount of money. I personally, over a year, probably saved myself nearly £100, maybe more. If you're already familiar with car tax, road tax, all that stuff, then again, disregard this. This is just I find a lot of people don't really understand the way the new road tax system works. So obviously, if you buy a vehicle now, you've got to tax it before you drive away. Well, that's what they say you've got to do. So today is the 31st of January. It's 1st of February, obviously, tomorrow. So if I was to go out and buy a car now at 8:30 at night, I would have to legally tax that car to drive it home. So you would pay for a full month of tax, which, like my Mercedes, that's £30 a month. Most cars are 20, 30 pound a month, apart from the lower band ones. So you would have to pay 30 quid just to drive it home. So if you bought the thing at 9 o'clock at night, you'd have to pay the whole month of January for literally 3 hours of tax. So first tip is, if you are planning on buying a car, either plan to get it near the end of the month and tax it on the first of the month, or don't take my word for this one. I will hold no responsibilities. It's just simply, when you buy the car, if it's a reasonable person you're buying it off, just say you've got to buy it in the middle of the month and you don't need to use the car straight away. This is only if you don't need to use it. If you do need to use it, then don't bother. But if you can't do without the car until the first of the next month, what I normally ask somebody to do is just say, look, if you're going to do the application online, just say, look, would you just let me, you do now, you can change the keeper online, not many people post them off. Just say, look, can you give it a few hours for us to get home, and once I'm home, if you've still got the contact details, just say, look, I'll text you when I get home or ring you, and then can you do the application? And that way it keeps your car with the green tick is taxed to drive it home. And then when you get it back, what you've got to do is use the green keeper slip. Once they put it into your name, it automatically makes the car untaxed. So you've got to do two choices with the green keeper supplement, the V5C/2. What you've got to do with that is either sawn the car, which is what you need to do if you're not going to use it till the first of the month, or obviously tax it. So by doing that, you're saving yourself a full month worth of tax. The other way around, if you know the person, like I quite often do, who you're buying the car off, like I've just done with Chris with me Corolla, this is not to be done unless you know what you're doing, is ask that I haven't really used my Corolla at all since I brought it back up here, but it is nice just to keep the green tick, so that if I need to move the car from my house to the garage, or from the garage home, it's shown as taxed. So all I've done with Chris was, I said, look, we'll just leave it in your name till the last day of the month, like today, and then we actually did it yesterday, and then we'll do the change of keeper for the today. So now it means Chris won't have to pay the month of February for the car, and I've saved the month of January, and then I've decided that's not going back on the road until March, till the salt stops. So these little ways of doing this with the tax, you can save either the person who's selling the car, if you know them, some money, and at the same time you as the buyer can save it. So like what I've just done tonight is, come March, I'm going to be taxing the Mercedes, the ML, which is 30 quid a month. I'm being attacked by the dog here, sorry. Very sharp little puppy teeth. So I'm going to be I've worked it out, I'm going to be paying 30 quid a month for the Mercedes. I think the Corolla's somewhere like 18 or 19 pound. a month-ish. I can't remember. I think it's like 205 for the year. And the Seat, the Altea, is £14 a month or something like that. It's not very much. So what I've just done to save having too much money coming out over the summer months where I'm going to have all 3 cars on the road at the same time, I've actually sawned, because the Seat, I pay the money monthly. So what I've decided, that car thinks like £160, £170 for the full year. So I've just sawned it tonight. I online though, only do this online, not posting in. So I've sawned it tonight. So that'll end me direct debit. And then what I'm going to do is tomorrow, re-tax it, but just pay it off in full for the year in cash. So that's that one out the way with and done, because it's the cheapest to tax out the 3 cars, believe it or not. Like a 2 litre factory 170 brake horsepower, it's like running over 200 brake, and it's only 160, 170 quid, where the Toyota 1.4 petrol is 205. So that's what I've done. I've sawned it tonight, and then which means it cancels me direct debit, and then I'm going to re-tax it with cash or like one-off payment. So that's that one finished with, and then I'm going to tax the Corolla this month, and then tax the Mercedes on the 1st of March to get it prepped and ready to start towing on in April. So that means I've only got 2 direct debits running, which is the Mercedes, which is like I say 30 quid, and the Toyota about, I don't know, it's like £17, something like that. So it's not going to end up being 3 amounts of money coming out on the 1st of every month to do it. So that's that way. If you do have a little fleet of cars, just make sure you do your sawing and your taxing last day of the month, then first day of the month. But make sure you do it online. If you post anything off, it's the date they receive it, so you lose a whole month of tax. So yeah, that's a little bit of advice on kind of taxing on your cars. There is other ways you can save little bits of money and other little tricks. Like obviously you've got your basics, which is like everybody will probably know, like your 6-month tax works out more expensive than a year, and doing it by direct debit. But doing it by direct debit is slightly cheaper than doing a 6-month one-off payment. So as it goes, you're better off. The cheapest way to do it is to pay it off in full. Second cheapest option is to do the direct debit. Up to the least better deal is doing a one-off 6-month payment. For some reason, doing it that way, you actually end up paying a lot more of a percentage on it. So that's a few other little ways of working it. And the final thing, which I'm now trying to work out, is, as everybody's aware, in March and April, the government do like the budget, which, as everyone knows, that it's an excuse just to ramp the taxes up. The road tax bands, what I tend to find as a rule is the top bands, like there's the 330, there's the crazy £600 and £700 ones, go up about between £15 and £20, and then the mid-range tax bands, which are like 205, like 250, 60 ones, and then like down to about the 170s, they tend to go about a tenner. And then the lower bands, which is like yes, basically A is free, B is £20, C is £30, D used to be 115, but I think that's up to nearly 130 now. But I tend to find like the 130 and 150 ones go up about a fiver. And really annoyingly, the 20, the free, the 20 and the £30 tax bands have never gone up since they were first introduced, I think in 2001, as in like any car Y plate onwards, newer, is based off the emissions. Any car X-Reg, up to X-Reg, is based off the old PLG, which is above 1.6, so you can have a 1.6 Astra, or you can have a flipping 7-litre American car, and they're exactly the same tax. Then anything below a 1.6 is the lower band, which I personally thought was a good. And then now, after 2017, every single car pays the same, apart from a few, dual fuel ones are about a tenner cheap. I think every car now, regardless if it's a little Toyota Aygo or a Range Rover, is £150, I think it is. And I think if it's a hybrid or a dual fuel car, it's 140. It's only like a tenner cheaper, somewhere around there anyway. But this budget carry on, what I'm saying is, which I'm debating what to do now, because obviously I'm taxing the Altea on the 1st of February, i.e. tomorrow. So that'll be on the old cheaper tax band. But what they do is, whatever date the budget is within March, they always, I think it seems to be towards the end of March and then starts on the beginning of April, is when they put them up. So sometimes, depending on what way you want to do it, is you're much cheaper to do what I'm doing now, is actually sawn your car at the end of January and then re-tax it again for a full year in February. It means there's no time off the road apart from tonight. If I wanted to use the car for a few hours tonight, obviously I've just sawned it there at 8 o'clock, and then if I wanted to, 1 minute after midnight, I can pay it in full, re-tax it. But if you do it the other way, if you've got a high tax band car, they put them up about 20 or 30 quid every year. So if your tax is due in March or April, every year you're paying the higher amount. So what I tend to do is, when you reach to about, you don't lose any money on this. When you reach about February time, sawn it, re-tax it. I'm going to look if you can do it as close to 1st of March. I'm not sure, because I think sometimes when they do the budget, they're wise, they already have it there. I think either the latest you can leave it is either the 1st of February or the 1st of March. Obviously, once you're in April, you can't. Then it just means when you re-tax your car, you're on the old band before they put them up, like 20 quid. So I tend to find that way you can save yourself, if you've got a higher tax band car, a bit of money. You might think it's tight, whatever, that's up to everybody to have that opinion, but I think DVLA get enough money. If you can save yourself 20 quid here, 30 quid then, like I do, every car that I buy, if I know it's got like only, if there's like a week before the end of the month, I'll just saw it and leave it, and obviously tax it on the 1st. So if you work out how many cars I have, if I was to just tax every single one of them on the last few days of the month, then you're paying 2 months of tax for the sake of a few days. It ain't worth it. So there's a little tip anyways. I just thought I'd give a little update. It's my day off the day. Excuse the mess of the hair and everything. I'm just about to get in a bath. So yeah, there we go. There's some free information, how to save yourself a bit of money on road tax. Well, it's not even called road tax now. It's something like emissions duty they call it. It's not a term that you use anymore now, road tax. So yeah, I'll catch you in another video. I'll be back with the weekly vlogs tomorrow. Thanks for watching. Like I've said, just remember, if you enjoy watching this, hit the subscribe button. It'll be up there somewhere, or if you go onto my page, like it, leave a comment. It all helps towards it. And the more views I get, the more I can grow the channel, the more equipment that I can get, and the more content I can start to film. So I'll catch you in another video. Thanks. Bye.